My name is Jason Bolinger. Some say Bolinger. I've said it both ways, either or. The channel is Jason Bolinger Classical Guitar. The first instrument I played was piano. Second grade, my parents forced me to take piano, but I actually liked it. Playing piano as a kid was my first experience with music as an art, because I got more out of it than what others did, I believe, because I wanted to understand what piano made me feel a certain way. I could play notes and it did something inside me that made me want to keep doing it. But I would sit down at the piano, and instead of playing the song in front of me, I would try to create my own songs. And I didn't understand how. I had no concept of how the music was written or how you went about that, but I knew like I could beat on lower notes and it would sound like thunder to me. So I'd make a song about the rain. It wasn't until college where I was going to school for graphic design and photography, and of course still playing guitar. But I met somebody who had gone to school for theory and composition, and he turned me on to what, more of what music is and how to make it and how to make sense of it. And so I quit school. I quit on a Wednesday, a couple years into school, and went home, and my parents were like, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "I quit school." I didn't tell them at all. It was a big surprise. And, but I had a plan. I was going to go to music school. Not music school, but I was going to go back to school, a different school, and study theory and composition and learn how to play guitar better. I wanted to express myself so much as a kid. I loved the shovel. It was like this little plastic shovel, and I tied a string to it, and I wore it like a necklace. Right? It's kind of weird, like looking back, but I was 5 years old, and get on the bus, and this kid was like sitting in front of me, and he turns around and he's like, just commenting, just ridiculing me for wearing this shovel. And so I stopped wearing it immediately and never wore it again. And I think things like that hampered my progression as to express things. So even to this day, I have a hard time performing in front of people, because there's always this thing in the back of my head that someone's thinking, this is dumb. Or like, what are you doing? You're like, this isn't cool. Even though they're there to hear you maybe, but it still feels unwanted or something, like you're expressing yourself, but it's not. I don't know. I play a number of instruments. I play classical guitar, as well as any other type of guitar. Basically anything with strings I can play pretty easily. I play a mandolin, play cello. I play cello with a group in Johnstown called the Community Strings. So it's a group it varies from 15 to 25 people, and we play chamber music, a couple concerts a year. And people say, "Oh, it's just scales." I'm like, "Oh, it is just scales." Like, it truly is. So you have these intervals, so you get your harmony, and then you have chords, and you understand how 3 notes work together, and then you understand how 4 notes work together, and it keeps growing from that. And then how a melody can change based on, like, it can be the same melody, but if you play different chords behind it, it has a completely different feel. And it's understanding, like, learning what those things are that makes you able to play almost anything. It's just a matter of learning the mechanics of that instrument. probably too obvious to thank my parents, but I think I've thanked them before for making me take those piano lessons so long ago. I don't know if I've ever thanked my parents for letting me choose my path. Not that I've made a living or anything close to it, but I think what a difference it's made to me, to my soul, than to be forced to go to school to be an engineer or something. I just can't imagine. So I was very fortunate that I had parents that were, enabled and encouraged me. I would thank my wife as well, because, I think she understands how much music means to me, even though I don't do anything with it. Like some people just don't understand. Like, well, you don't do anything with it. Like you've played that song 100 times already. Like, yeah, well, I like the way it makes me feel. I can play it 1,000 more times, and I just like the way it makes me feel. So